Hey, Mary with the Painted Peach, and this is my watermelon kit. I am now offering this kit. It is 2 watermelon slices and a big ant. So let's get started. We're going to start by painting our ant with this black ink chalk paint by Waverly, and we're going to get a really good coverage over the whole thing. When I say good coverage, I just mean that we want to make sure we cover all the white and the wood color up. I will be distressing this anyway, so some of that's going to come back out, but of course we want our ant to be black. Alright, now I'm just using a sanding block to distress the edges and go over the chalk paint itself and make it look nice and rustic. Alright, now we're going to move on to our watermelon slices. So I'm going to use some folk art paint to do the watermelon rind, and we're going to start out with the big slice and get that nice dark green paint on there for the base. This kit will be available soon in my shop. I will put a link in the comments once I have it up. I'll have the choice of blank for you to create on your own or finished for me to paint it for you. Now we're getting a lighter green in the folk art paint, and we're going to use that to make some stripes on our rind as you would see on a regular watermelon. The idea behind this is to make it look like you're at a picnic and you have some slices of watermelon and there's a big bite out of one, and then you have a giant ant on there, which is not realistic, of course, but I thought it was super cute to add that touch. I'm just blending those lines out so they look more realistic. I really love how this light green has added the perfect touch to make it look like a real watermelon rind. Now we're going to start blending. We're going to add some of that light green going up to show the rind, you know, how it goes up and then it turns a little white and then pink and then red. We're going to try to get some blending going and do that. So we're going to start adding some more color in. I'm getting some white out. I'm getting some pink out and some red. Right now we're going to mix a little bit of that white in with the green, and we're going to add that right over the top of that green and kind of get 3 different shades of green going here. It's just paint, so you can just play with it and do some blending and adding of colors until it's to your liking. I'm adding a little bit more white because I thought it needed a little more white on the top layer. now we're grabbing our light pink, and this is also folk art, and we're going to add that to our little cardboard piece over here, and we're going to start blending that into the white. There's no right or wrong with doing your kit. You just make it your own. You could even make a pink watermelon or whatever color you want. It doesn't have to be realistic. You can just make it to your liking. Now I'm grabbing my red from Folk Art, and we're going to make this watermelon look delicious. The key to blending is to just practice. If you go overboard with another color, you can always come back in with the color before and blend that in as well. So you just have to work with it. I would suggest practicing on something else with your blending if you've never done it before you do your project. My kits are cut with scroll saw, so they are not laser cut, and they will differ with each kit you get. No two items will be the same, and they're all hand cut by me. Now I'm just doing some touch-ups, making sure it's good and dry, blending a little bit before I move on to the next side and the other watermelon. I just want to make sure I have it exactly like I want it and good and dry so I don't mess it up. If you do purchase one of my kits, I would love to see what you do with it. We do have a sharing group you can share your finished projects in, and I'll also add that link. We love to see how you create with our products, and if you recreate something that we do, we love to see that too. So now I'm just repeating the same thing on the other side, and to not bore you, we're going to speed this part up and make sure that we get it all completed quickly. You're going to notice on this one, I did a whole different method, and my watermelon looks a lot pinker. So I just keep adding in some red and blending and then drying and then adding more red just so I can get it to the color that I want it. I was just trying different methods, and I definitely like the way I did the first one better. So just like I said, just play around and get it to your liking and use the technique that works best for you. Right now, so I'm getting my Sharpie marker out. You can use a paint pen, a paintbrush, whatever you want to use. But I'm just using a Sharpie to add my seeds onto my watermelon. You'll see later in this video that I had a few other ideas you can do, but we just want to add some little black seeds to make it look like a true watermelon. If you want your watermelon to be seedless, that's okay too. I'm making my watermelon slices two-sided. You don't have to do that if no one's going to see the back, but I like to finish mine so that they are completely finished all the way around. It just looks better. All right, now we're going to take our ant and get it glued together. I suggest using some wood glue along with some hot glue. I did not have my wood glue with me today, so I just used hot glue on mine. But especially if you're going to be putting it somewhere where it's going to be in the heat, you definitely want to add a little bit more security with a wood glue. We're just gluing our 3 little pieces, the head and the body, together. There are 2 holes pre-drilled in this. One of my holes needed to be a little bit bigger, so I end up taking my drill to that. This is Distress Oxide, and I think the color is Flamingo. I'm adding some cute little cheeks on our ant. You can decorate your ant in any way you want. I'm going to make mine look a little cutesy, and we're going to use a gel pen to draw on a little white mouth and some eyeballs, and then we're going to use our Sharpie to shade in some of the eyes to make them look more like an eye. You can use paint pens, you can paint it on with your paintbrush, whatever works for you. This is just the way I did it. It can be done many, many ways. I decided his eyes needed to be a little brighter, so I got my white chalk paint pen out and I added a little bit of white in those eyes, and then I added the same in the cheeks where they meet, so it would stand out a little better. Here I am using the Sharpie to make his little pupils in there, and then his face is complete. In your kit, you'll also get some wire to make his little antennas. I have one piece already created, but I needed to create another one. So all I did was cut a piece of the wire. Yours will be already pre-cut. And I used my scissors, whoopsie. and then I just wrap it around a small dowel or stick or something like that. Here you see me trying to find something that I want to use and realizing that my paint is on my lace, so trying to clean up a little bit in between. So I'm going to grab something to my right over here, and we're going to wrap this wire around and make it curly. You don't have to make yours curly. You can just stick it straight in there, whatever suits you, but I wanted mine to be curly. So I wrapped it around that dowel. Sorry that I'm out of camera. And I will make it curly Q. I'm going to end up cutting a little piece of it off because it was too long. And then we'll add it straight onto our ant. There's already the pre-drilled hole. I'm going to add a little bit of glue and stick it right in the hole. Once I try to do that, I realized that my hole was a little too small that I drilled, so I get my little drill out and make it a little bigger. Here you see me adding the glue in the hole, and I suggest adding the glue to your wire and then sticking it in the hole because that did not work out. So this is the part where I decide to use my little drill and make the hole a little bit bigger and get that glue that I put in there out. All right, here is our cute little ant guy. Isn't he precious? I just love his little wire antennas and his sweet little face. I think this kit is very cute for summer displays. You could put them on a tier tray. You could have them at a birthday party, picnic, if you want to get fancy. But I think it's just super cute. Here I'm just distressing mine up. This is by choice. I just took my sanding block and distressed the edges and went over some of that Sharpie where I put the seeds on just to distress them up a little bit. This is all by just like what your choice is. You don't have to do this part. Like I said, you can make this kit your own, do whatever you like, and make it fluorescent pink if you like. Here I'm showing you some different options. I have these cute little hearts that I thought would be cute on the watermelon. I also have buttons and little wood pieces that would be cute if you put like summer or something like that on. But in the end, I just leave mine as is. But here it is with some buttons to see how that would look as your seeds. I think that would be super cute as well. In the end, I just decided to go with the seeds that I painted on, and I take the little heart and I use some of that flamingo pink distress oxide and color it up, and I think that was the perfect touch. It would also be really cute with a little bow maybe on your ant or something like that, but I think that simple sometimes is best. Of course, once you finish creating your cute little watermelon kit and you get everything just as you want it, you're going to want to seal it with some kind of acrylic spray or sealer of your choice. I like to use Mod Podge matte sealer, and that way my rusticness continues to stay there and it's not glossy. But that's a preference too, and that's up to you. I really like how this turned out, and I'm super excited to see all of you create as well. Here I'm just adding a little bit of the green oxide around the edges where I distressed, just to give it a little bit more color and dimension. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will get yourself one of these kits. I think they're super fun and a great way to decorate for the summer. If you enjoyed watching me create with this kit, I hope that you will stick around and become a friend of the Painted Peach. I really enjoy creating for you. Have a blessed day.